You ever notice Baron doesn't look a lot like his parents? You want to know who he does look like? He just happens to have a very certain resemblance to someone, especially when he was younger. And I don't see that resemblance, but you know who else he looks like? Now, why would that be? Why would this be? I'll tell you why. Because Michael Jackson's kids wouldn't grow up to look like that. They would grow up to look like that. Just like he is growing up to look like that, and clearly came from that. And you might be saying, well, why in the world would Baron look like Diana? Well, why don't we take a look? In an attempt not to upset the very, very kind content moderators, I'm just going to present you some information and let you make up your mind. But before you make up your mind completely, stick around to the end, because I do have a smoking gun. And yes, their features are quite different. But when you switch personalities full time, a mask doesn't cut it. You need to make some permanent improvements. But cosmetics doesn't change the way you sit. It doesn't change the way you wave. And apparently doesn't even change the way you dress. And did you know that Donald Trump aggressively pursued Diana after her divorce? They also like to put the truth right in plain sight. Not just visually, but audibly. Take a listen.
Mr. and Mrs. Trump? Mr. and Mrs. Trump?
Have you ever taken a look at what Baron Trump looks like? He resembles someone an awful lot. Gotta just be a coincidence, though. Definite coincidence. I did promise you guys a smoking gun, though, and I don't want to disappoint. And if you're smart and you're trying to deceive people, you get rid of identifying markers. So, of course, they would get rid of that. And even though I see a little remnants there, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these. Those. I'll show you. Now, you're going to fool the masses by getting rid of the most recognizable identifying marker. You got to get up pretty early in the morning to fool this guy. And that, and that, and that, and that are pretty unmistakable. And well, if you haven't seen my dozen videos on how he is he, and I have found markings over and over and over again, and these are new ones, well, you should go look at some of the old ones. But I mean, at this point, if you still don't see it, you're never gonna see it. And maybe that's just okay. Maybe you weren't meant to see it. But this guy knows. But of course, all this just for entertainment purposes. I'm here to make your day with thinking I'm a loony, crazy conspiracy theorist. And I'm a satire account, entertainment only. But I mean, come on. And especially on this. Come on, people. Time to wake up.